All right, so this is Play Wisconsin. Today we are here with the singer of Soft Spot. Would you like to say hello?
Hey, what's up? I'm Johnny from Soft Spot.
All right, so I just heard to the preview of your new song, Temporary Bliss. Pretty good. I'll be honest. I liked it a lot. I liked
Thank
not
you.
only the rhythm, but I liked the actual lyrics of the song. I thought they were really good. I really enjoyed it. I do want to ask you, however, what is the story behind Temporary Bliss? Is it based on like one of your guys' personal experience, or is it more like a general feeling that just people have and you wanted to talk about?
I would have to say it's probably more of like a general kind of thing, general feeling. When I wrote the song, I was just kind of sitting on my couch. I think it was probably around August, and I'm just like kind of. I don't know if I was kind of like I think I was listening to some Helmet and I was like kind of
Mm,
like playing with a riff and I was like, oh, this kind of has a little Helmetiness to it, but it obviously is kind of like kind of grown a lot since then and doesn't even really like remind me of a Helmet song since we've finished
yeah.
it. But just kind of that riff, and I kind of just had these words in my head, and I was like, I cannot follow this. It's only temporary bliss, and I don't know. It was like just kind of words that came out as I'm kind of spitting out this kind of spitting out the song, and I had the chord progression, so I'm just playing through the chord progression, and then it was just like I feel like the natural flow of how the song should have been, and it just kind of came out really fast. I think I wrote the song probably in under 10 minutes, and then I like put it in my notes, or not my notes. I put it in my audio recordings on my phone, sent it to the boys. I was like, "What do you guys think of this?" And we just started playing it in practice a couple days later, and but I basically wrote the whole song, the lyrics and stuff there. I mean, I think the song kind of does have to do with probably how I was feeling at the time, because I mean, temporary bliss. Obviously, it's like you can go with the easy thing and get the temporary bliss, or you can kind of like work on something and kind of take the harder route. But temporary bliss kind of sometimes is the easier way. So it's
Yeah. Yeah, I get it. So you said you wrote it like in 10 minutes. How is the like usual songwriting process like? Is it always like this fast? Are you the one who writes all the songs, or do you guys like sit down and like talk about it, or everybody just brings in their own ideas and then you guys develop that into a song?
So yeah, I do pretty much mostly write all of the lyrics, a lot of the chord progressions too, but sometimes Dave will come, my bass player Dave, he'll come to me and say like, "Oh, hey, I've got this chord progression or I got this idea, let's work on." And then we kind of collaborate and then I'll still write the lyrics, but Dave will probably have like figured out kind of like a base of what the song would sound like, and then we kind of go back and forth and start playing other stuff. But a lot of times too, especially when we first started, I would just kind of sit at home and play through these chord progressions and kind of figure out what I like, and then however I'm feeling at the time, then I would kind of just kind of spitball lyrics or spitball stuff into my phone, kind of like freestyling basically. If I had like a first word in my head or like a feeling of I don't know, any kind of emotion really, and then I kind of just roll with it, and then whatever kind of pops in my brain, I write down or I put in my voice memos, and then that just kind of becomes the songs.
Yeah, I guess that makes more like the song comes from like actual feelings, it's not just some
Yeah.
random stuff. Uh, I did hear also your song High and Dry, and like comparing it to how Temporary Bliss sounds, it's a very different kind of like style and rhythm. Would
hmm
you say like when you do like such different songs like this, it's like a transition moving slowly towards another genre, or you guys are just jumping around between like different styles of music?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like a lot of the times too, when we're putting songs together, it's a lot of what I'm listening to currently. Um,
Mm,
so maybe, when I wrote High and Dry, I mean, when I wrote High and Dry, it was almost like at the start of this band. I wrote High and Dry like 4, 5 years ago. So we've definitely like I'd say evolved a bit since then, but I like to play around with some stuff, but I also like to kind of keep the same like heart of it all and kind of don't want to like stray too far from what I believe Soft Spot to be. But like I said, a lot of the songs when I'm in the middle of them, it's kind of like derivative of what I'm listening to at that moment, like just all the culmination of stuff. And a lot of times I'm listening to the same stuff too, you know,
Mm.
so it's just whatever kind of moves me in that moment. But yeah, I think a lot of our music is reflected on what I'm listening to. So I think High and Dry kind of has, yeah, a little bit of a different feel, but I think the emotiveness is similar to that of Temporary Bliss.
Yeah, I did notice like the connection, like the lyrics still transmit like a similar
Mhm.
emotion. It's just the vibe or like the rhythm the
Yeah,
song carries feels a lot different, and I like
yeah,
that a lot.
totally.
I know you guys do have your March tour coming up. I believe it starts in the 19th, like in four
Yeah.
days.
Yep, on
Uh,
Thursday.
you guys excited for that?
Oh, I'm so excited. Yeah, it's a long time coming. I mean, we were on tour in June of last year, and so we haven't been on tour since then. So I mean, it's been like almost nine, it's been about 9 months.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm super excited to get back on the road to tour these new songs we got because we're putting out a new EP in May. So we're putting out a single on Friday, March 20th, and then we're putting out another single, I believe, April 18th,
Mm.
whatever that Friday, like third week of Friday of the third week of April. Um, and then an EP May 22nd. And then we're actually in the middle of planning another tour for June. So we're gonna go back out and tour the EP and stuff. But we will be playing all of those new songs on this tour. So
All right. Sounds like you guys are gonna be really busy this year.
yeah, it's
Uh,
shaping up to be a busy year for sure, which I like.
yeah, I mean, so we are Wisconsin Plays, so we do want to know, are you guys interested to be coming back to the so known cheese state in the United States? Like, are you excited to come back here or anything?
Oh yeah, I'm super excited. I really liked it in Wisconsin. I mean, I we didn't have a lot of time when we were there, but you know, I got to hang out in Milwaukee a little bit, and
Mm.
right before our show, and even at night after the show and stuff, you know, and hanging out with the people in Milwaukee was cool. It was a very cool vibe. And we went to the Cheese Castle actually on our way home. So I love cheese. So anything cheese related or like cheese oriented, I'm in for. So I am excited to come back to the cheese state.
Yeah,
Yes.
if you like cheese, you'll have fun at Wisconsin for sure.
Oh yeah,
So,
definitely.
personally, I think one of the two most important dates of a tour would be like the starting show and then like the ending show. Is there a
Mhm.
reason like why you chose Milwaukee to be the last day of the tour, and also a reason why you chose the first day to be that said location that you chose, or is it
Yeah.
just
So I Uh, the first show that we're doing is at Cafe Nine in New Haven, Connecticut, which is about 40 minutes from where we live. We're in Stamford, so we're
hmm,
close to the New York State border. Um, we um, we love Cafe Nine. That is like our home away from home, and we have a good following and a lot of fans and a lot of friends up there. So I know it's going to be a good show. We got a bunch of awesome bands too, kind of central to there. A band called Split View. They're from Milford, which is 10, 15 minutes from New Haven. Another band, Western Reserve, that's out of New Haven. And we got a band, Palomino from New Jersey, who's really sick, and they're going to be playing with us. And so I love Cafe Nine. I really wanted to start at Cafe Nine. So yeah, so that's why we started at Cafe Nine for the first thing of the show. And for the last show for ending in Milwaukee, kind of just so happened that I we got that date, and because I was that was going to be the last show for the tour. I was trying to get a little bit closer to home, but
hmm,
just the way it all worked out, we were like going to end in Milwaukee. So our buddies Mookie Teramoto, they're from Milwaukee, they were like, "Oh, hey, we got a show the 28th. If you guys, are down for that." And I was like, "Yeah, we're down. Let's do it." So I just booked it, kind of booked everything else in kind of like just the way that it all worked out with all the other cities and dates and stuff. So it
yeah,
just
yeah,
worked out that Milwaukee was going to be the last one. So it's going to be a long drive back home, but I took Monday off from work and we got all of Sunday to drive. So hopefully we'll get back on Sunday, but who knows,
yeah, you should be fine.
Yeah.
So I did notice you're very excited for that starting show in Connecticut. Would you
Yeah.
say that is the show you're most excited for during this tour, or is there some other like place you're really looking forward to performing in?
Um, that is definitely top on my most excitement kind of list. I love Cafe Nine. I'm gonna see all my friends. I'm gonna see like people that dig us. Off the bat. So it's gonna be just a fun show regardless. But I'm excited to go back to. Well, we're gonna be outside of Detroit, but I'm excited to go back to the Detroit area because we played last
Mm.
year. Our buddy Cherry Drops album release, and now we're doing a weekender with them. So we're playing Thursday, Friday, Saturday with them. So we're playing Ypsilanti, and it's called Ziggy's in Ypsilanti, Michigan. And then we're going to Chicago with them, and then we're going to go to Milwaukee with them. So if you're around and you want to come see them at the show, Cherry Drop's going to be there. They're sick. They're like punk rock kind of Stooges type, kind of just rocking. They're really really cool. They're definitely a little bit different than us, but I think our our vibes match very well. We're also just we they came to Connecticut like 2 years ago in 2024, like I think May 2024 was the first time we played with them. They played at Cafe Nine where we are starting our tour at, and we just became instant friends. And when I had asked them about coming out to Detroit last summer, they were like, "Come play our album release," and I was like, "Oh, dude, no way!" So yeah, we got to play their album release, and so I'm excited to go back and play with them in their area, right outside Detroit, and then I'm also excited to go back to Chicago, and then I'm excited to go back to Milwaukee as well. So those last three shows I'm definitely most excited about, as well as the Cafe Nine, but as well as actually Toledo too. We're playing in a place called Frankie's the day before. We're playing with Cherry Drop in the Detroit area. And we're playing Toledo, Ohio, Wednesday the 25th, and I'm excited about that one too because I like Ohio. I've never been to Toledo though, but I do like Ohio.
Yeah, it sounds like you're very excited for most of them. I mean, I guess you don't want to pick favorites, right? You got to keep all the fans happy.
Yeah, you gotta want to hope, I guess, that they're all going to be, as equally as
Yeah.
awesome. But
So I do want to ask, like me personally, I've been to several concerts, and like you, sometimes you see some really weird stuff going on with the crowd. Have you ever had like some weird or just like unfortunate thing happen that you've seen in the crowd, like someone acting like like extremely odd or doing something that you're like, what is going on down there?
something that comes to mind was we played a show like a few months ago at a VFW, and there was a band that I wouldn't say was too heavy, but there was like kids moshing really aggressively, like no decorum. There was no boundaries of what these guys were getting themselves into, and they were just like smashing up against each other. And one kid who was like doing the most smashing, he hurt his leg. I mean, it was the first band. I mean, might have been 10 minutes into the set. He goes down. He's like, "My leg! I think I broke my leg." And he's just like on the ground. There's this guy, it's like I said, we're at a VFW hall, comes in with a World War II like gurney. And it's like two pieces of wood with like some vinyl thing in the middle, and he's like gonna put the kid on it. And I'm like, where there's no ambulance here yet. Like, but so he brought it out. He was super proud about it. And the kid went to the hospital, unfortunately, because he messed
Oh
up his leg.
yeah.
But that was like the beginning of the show. But then later on during our set, we were playing, and the whole crowd gets on the ground and they start rowing, which I've seen at a King Gizzard show before because they have a song called The River, and I've seen like the pit just start rowing, but I've never had anybody row for our set. So
That's
that was pretty cool.
oh yeah, that sounds like a pretty fun show. I mean,
Yeah.
unfortunate the kid did end up in the hospital, but I mean,
Yeah,
things
it was
happen.
pretty rough.
Can't
Yeah.
really help it.
You
Speaking
can't
on
keep
the
standing like that?
yeah. Speaking on the topic of your shows, I do wonder, is there any song you would consider like your favorite song to perform? And on the opposite side, is there any song you don't like performing or that you would consider your least favorite to like actually play during a show?
So I think my favorite song, it's starting to be Temporary Bliss now. I like really like playing Temporary Bliss. But it was Down for a long time. I love the dynamics of Down, because it's kind of like starts off really soft, gets really heavy, and then kind of gets soft again, heavy. So, it's just I like the
Yeah.
dynamics of it. So I love playing it live. And now we have a new guitar player, because
Mm.
we've historically always been a three piece, but now we have been got a new guitar player in the last like maybe 4 months, and it's changed everything live. It makes the dynamics, it makes everything sound just so much fuller. So I love playing down live, even especially with Will now, because his extra guitar adds the whole atmospherical stuff. But my least favorite song to play live would probably be Time. We never play it. It's the like fifth or sixth song on our album. It's right
Mm.
after High and Dry because they kind of lead into each other. Um, but we kind of leave that one off. Not that I don't like the song. I just like I think the way our set goes and the way that that song sounds, it's just a little too kind of laid back, and
Mm.
sometimes I want like things to kind of flow a little bit more, be a
Yeah,
little more
yeah.
progressive. That's why I like Use Me actually. I was thinking about Use Me as one of my favorite songs to play because Use Me is, kind of keeps you going the whole time. It's like this kind of progressive um
Yeah.
guitar movement,
You
so
want to keep like the flow of the show going, right? You don't want to like
yeah, yeah,
cut it
yeah,
off or
totally,
anything. Yeah, it
totally.
makes sense. Uh, I mean, I want to ask what people love is the drama, of course. Have you guys ever had like any kind of fights or big arguments inside of the band, like about either a show, a song, or like anything that's happening? Have you ever like actually argued that you thought like this is a bad, like a really big argument we're having right now?
Honestly, I am really happy to say that we do not argue or fight. I mean, they kind of all just trust me with like um the direction of stuff. So I'll be like, "Hey, we're gonna do this thing," and they're all like, "Oh, okay, let's do it." Um, and but we've never really fought, never really disagreed about anything. I am very open to other ideas, and if anybody's like, "Oh, I think we should do it this way" or whatever, I'm always open. But a lot of times, I just kind of have an idea and I'm like pitch it and they're like let's run with it and it's just kind of how we
Yeah.
operate. But I've known Mark since we were like 14, and we've been friends since we were 14. We walked in graduation in high school together. So I've known him for a while, and we get along pretty well. Dave, I've known, for the last like 5 years, and I couldn't ask for like a cooler dude. And just like he goes out of his way to help anybody, like bands and stuff we play with. He always, will help them and help them with gear. He helps me with gear. I played an acoustic set, like maybe 3 nights ago, and I played for 3 hours. He helped me set up. He stayed the whole time, and he helped me break it down. So it was like I would never argue with Dave either. But yeah, we all. And Will's too new to, kind of say anything about that, but Will's chill. He agrees with the direction of the band too, which I appreciate. And we're just yeah, we get along. Which
Hey,
is
I mean,
I couldn't ask for a better group of dudes.
yeah, the worst thing you could happen is like end up arguing with each other and the band breaks up, you know? It's good to get along and
Yeah,
like
right.
yeah, I mean, has anybody, I always wondered, like, did people ever like judge you guys or like call you crazy when you started telling people you were gonna like pursue the music career or like try to like become a musician when you first were starting? Did anybody like tell you you're not gonna make it or like just be like, you're ridiculous? Like, that's not something that you could actually live from. Like, did anybody try to like shut you down when you were just starting?
I gotta say, most of my life and with most of the people around me have been very supportive. I think it is important too to kind of surround yourself with people who care and are supportive of you and your dreams and the stuff that you have in your head or whatever. And obviously, it's hard to get away from some people, especially if your family is against
Yeah.
what you're doing. It's hard. That have supportive people and supportive family is like super. I mean, is such a blessing. And I have a lot of supportive people and friends and yeah, people who just have been, have been about it from the beginning. And I think if people see how much it means to you, and if you put effort and time and care and love into something, it like shows, and people really can see that. So I think that if you have people around you who are a little empathetic and see that what you're doing is something that you love, then they'll be behind you. But I mean, you can't speak about for everybody and anything,
Yeah.
but
I
I've
mean,
been very grateful and lucky in that regard.
yeah, that's good to hear. I mean, truthfully, always seeing someone like very passionate about what they love always makes you like want to support them and help them out, even if it's not your
Yeah.
kind of thing. Just seeing a
Oh
person
yeah.
passionate about things they love always is nice to see, you know?
Yeah.
I do want to ask, I do understand that Temporary Bliss is a preview for your new EP. I think it's 1-800 Soft Spot it's called or something like that.
Yeah.
So I have noticed, however, up to my knowledge, you guys only have that first like album you guys released when you came out, right?
hmm
Like your first debut album, This Will Make You Cry.
hmm
Uh, like, do you guys have any plans for releasing like another like full long album as such, or are you guys gonna stay more on the EP format? Because I do know that this new EP coming out is your fourth one. Am I correct?
This will be like technically, I think like our third EP because the other one
Oh,
that
okay,
the
okay.
other stuff that we have before, This Will Make You Cry, I took off the internet because I didn't think it really sounded like um what I was kind of going for. Like,
Hmm.
also when we first recorded some of that music, it was like super primitive, like early on when we first
Hmm.
started. So it was like I was getting my bearings. I was like kind of getting an understanding of how a recording studio worked and like even just how to like speak up for yourself about stuff. And so we've come a long way since then. So yeah, this is technically like, yeah, I think our third EP. And um I would love to make another record. I think we'll probably put one out next year. I don't want to like put any pressure on it for it, but we already have a bunch of new songs we've been working on too that aren't going to be on this EP. So I'd love to demo this stuff out. We're already started demoing a new song. Um, so it's yeah, I think next year sometime, we should have an a new record out. I would love to have our second record out. And I think probably the end of this year too, just because we're putting out an EP in May. Maybe not the end of the year, but well, close to the end of the year. But maybe like September or October, we might put out a couple new songs. Just because, it's, like I said, there's a bunch of stuff we got, so I kind of just want to keep things going. Just
Yeah,
keep
yeah.
keep it flowing.
Well, I'm excited to hear more from you guys and like see if that new album does make it to next year. I mean, not to put any pressure, of course.
Yeah.
And I mean, just to wrap it up, anything you would like, what would you tell the fans to expect from the new EP coming out? Would you like say it's very similar to what you guys have been putting out so far, or would they you want them to expect something more different, something they've never really heard from you guys? Like, what can the fans expect from this?
I think it's a little heavier than our prior stuff. And it's definitely on the grungy side. Um, but it's also on like the spacey side and the, like big atmospherical side. So you can expect, I think, similar sounds of Soft Spot's past in it as well, but also some new stuff. And we got a song that is going to be heavy, but it's also like really spacey and pretty and atmospherical. And um, so yeah, I think you can expect some new sounds, but some old sounds you might like. So, but yeah, I'm excited for it, and I hope people will be excited to get their ears on it. And yeah,
Oh,
heck
I
yeah.
sure am excited to get my hands on that. I mean, sounds pretty promising to be honest. I appreciate the opportunity to interview you guys again. It was very good. I mean, thanks a lot for the opportunity, and I'm definitely looking forward to seeing that. I hope I can at least make it to one of the shows. I'll try, honestly. But hey, we'll see what happens. Really appreciate
Yeah.
it. And I mean, this was Wisconsin Place interviewing Soft Spot once again. Hope we can get you guys sometime in the future.
Yeah, thank you for having us. This was a lot of fun.